By this time, I'm sure you've seen plenty of videos covering LEGO Minas Tirith, breaking down the build, the minifigs, all that good stuff. This video is a bit different. I just wanted to give my honest opinion on if I believe the set we see in front of us matches the $650 price tag. So I am going to do my very best to just be honest about that and kind of tell you a little bit where I'm coming from with that. I grew up on these movies. I remember going to every midnight release. It was magical. It was beautiful. These are my comfort movies. I absolutely love Lord of the Rings. I do own Rivendell, the Hobbit house, and Barad-dûr. I am not a fan of the Hobbit house that was released. And honestly, I'm still kind of conflicted on Minas Tirith. The price is very, very, very high for what you get. I do enjoy the builds. Like if I ignore the price, but I can't ignore the price because I actually paid for it. I do believe it's important to note that I buy all of my LEGO sets. I buy them, I build them, and I come up with my own thoughts. And that should matter and it should make a difference. It's only fair and honest to raise concerns when there are, you know? That's how we get better, how we make change and so on, which is an issue I see quite a bit. If you have anything to say, it's just automatically just viewed as negativity and ignored. That's not it. That's not it at all. That being said, Minas Tirith, I enjoyed the build. I loved the build. I thought it was a ton of fun. I was geeking out over all the little details on the interior. I think that it's absolutely gorgeous. The tomatoes for Denethor was a perfect touch there. And you can see fans just love that. They eat that up, pun intended. For $650, I'm honestly just not sold on that. That is a lot of money. When I look at Rivendell above it, like, you know, I believe it was around $450, $500. It's hard to think back, but that was a ton of money to spend. But honestly, after that build, I had no complaints. It's perfection. We had a ton of minifigs, the design, the architecture, it looks gorgeous. I love it. Barad-dûr, kind of the same thing. For that one, the interior just, it's perfect. You can see every room. You can, you know, just get in there, play with it, the features. It's awesome. Minas Tirith, one of the biggest outrages for me is the lack of minifigs or bad guys. There's no orc in sight. If you were lucky enough to get it on release day, you did get the GWP, which I believe included 2 orcs. But again, so many people that get GWPs never open them. They're purely for resale or just value. That's a whole nother thing. For Minas Tirith, no bad guys, 4 soldiers? Are you kidding me? Don't get me wrong, I was geeking out over these minifigs. To me, they're absolutely gorgeous. They're beautifully done. It's just unreal. And it's rare for me to actually, you know, geek out over a minifig because I'm more of a set person. My joy in LEGO comes from actually the whole build process. It's therapeutic, calming, and, you know, there's something about just opening a book of instructions and having it all laid out. This is the result. I believe it's the autistic in me that just thrives on that. But yeah, I can't ignore the lack of minifigs in this set for that price. Also, the big rock feature in the front. I don't know how you would do that better, but I'm not a fan of it. I'm also not, you know, a mock builder or Lego designer, so I don't want to dog on that too hard. But, you know, for me, it's just like, eh. Yeah, the White Tree of Gondor, another example. Look, I get it. It's Minas Tirith. It has to be, you know, scaled way, way, way down. But at the same time, that tree is just sad. It's just horrible. It's just a disgrace. You know, you put Denethor up there and he's taller than the frickin' tree of Gondor. What the heck? I don't know. Part of me wanted to flip this thing around because the interior is just that gorgeous. I just want to admire it. But again, with this type of build, you know, you gotta kind of maneuver it one way or the other. All these little things, I'm not sold on the price tag. It doesn't stack up the way, you know, Rivendell or Barad-dûr did. For me, it leans closer to the Hobbit house, like in wow factor for myself. I really, really, really wish that they would go back to kind of releasing the smaller side builds. Can we please get some reasonably priced, just fun sets? You know, it doesn't need to be crazy, but everything now, it feels like it has to be. Even for simple builds, like the price tags are astronomical. I understand inflation, licensing fees, things like that. I get it, okay? But at the same time, I do believe that they'll get away with whatever we keep allowing them to get away with. My honest, humble opinion is that this set is not worth $650 for the casual Lego fan. But at the same time, if you're a huge Lord of the Rings fan, I still don't think it's worth $650, but I bought it anyway. And that's where, you know, the problem exists and why it keeps continuing is because people like me allow it to, you know. I can't see price changes coming anytime soon with the rise of influencer culture just pumping out, you know, doing the Lord's work for media. It just, I don't know. It's an issue. I just hope, you know, that I don't know. I hope that they'll release smaller, more reasonably priced sets for the fans that do want to get their hands on something Lord of the Rings and, you know, have that in their collection. I'm just going to stop talking now.